Hey you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are in my kitchen and we're doing something different. We are baking today. I actually decided that I wanted to start baking and just kind of get into it, maybe weekly, bi-weekly, I don't know. So let's just go ahead and dive in. Handy dandy recipe because I still have not memorized anything. So this is the original Nestle Toll House chocolate chip cookie. I'm pretty sure you can find it if you just search that up online. I think it was on the Delish website or something. I found this, one of the first things that I found, and I've used it ever since, and it's been a big hit with people. So what you're going to need is some all-purpose flour. Where is that? Right here, baby. And you're going to need some baking soda right here, also good for cleaning if you know what I'm saying. You're going to need some salt, which is back here, and you're going to need some butter, which is still in my fridge right now, so I don't have it right here right now. And you are going to need some packed brown sugar, vanilla extract, and 2 large eggs. Also, can't forget the chocolate chips right there, and optional nuts. Alright, so let's get started. I actually need that. By the way, I don't have a microphone or anything, so my bad if the quality of the audio is not up to par. Alright, so first you're going to want to have you're gonna want to have 2 mixing bowls. 1 mixing bowl for all of the liquids or the wet ingredients, and then 1 larger mixing bowl for the powdery dry ingredients, okay? And obviously you're going to want to have your measuring instruments. Honestly, I do not have those fancy schmancy measuring individual cup things. I just have this one measuring cup that has been my best friend for cooking, for baking, for everything, and I have handy dandy spoons. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my all-purpose flour with caution, wrapped in amazing plastic. How much do we need? 2 1/4 cups. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get this rolling. All right. All right, and don't laugh at me, okay? But I really gotta do this to be all precise, you know? That's about 2 cups. So we're gonna put this into the, actually I think I need to put this in the smaller mixing bowl. So scratch what I said earlier, the small bowl is actually going to be for the dry stuff. The larger mixing bowl is going to be for the wet stuff, because we are going to put the dry stuff into the wet stuff later. I know what I'm doing, I promise. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put this first 2 cups in there. Bam! Gotta make sure it's level, you know what I'm saying? That's good. Now we need some baking soda. Open here. How many do we need? 1 teaspoon. It won't open. Got it fam, I got it. So we're just gonna sprinkle this, pretend like nothing happened, and try not to let the fan blow everything away, okay? And there was a little bit in here. It wouldn't hurt to put that in there. It was just a little bit. And now we're going to put 1 teaspoon of salt. All right. So we're going to grab this guy. I like to pour over the measuring cup just so like no extreme excess would be put into the mix. Okay, so also going to sprinkle that onto here. Okay, so before I move on to the wet stuff, I'm going to go ahead and just mix this up here. Make sure that all of the ingredients are well mixed together. While I'm doing this, let me tell you something. I've been binge watching Naked and Afraid, and I've been hearing a lot of people talk about this show, and I honestly never saw the appeal, to be quite honest with you. I'm like, I don't want to watch two people butt naked trying to survive. But then now I'm like, that is exactly what I want to watch. For those of you who do watch it, let me know if you're also kind of like, while you're watching it, you think, I could do that. And then you see bugs or crocodiles and you're like, nah, nope, can't do it. Honestly, I think even like fire ants or mosquitoes would make me tap out. I can't even with the mosquitoes at my own house. Not a fan. Not a fan. And just when one sneaks into my house, it's a nightmare, and I'm like crying the next day already. So I can't imagine 150 biting you all night if you're near still water or whatever, because that's their breeding grounds. I can't. But let me tell you, I've been learning a lot about survival. So if ever, you know, maybe. Okay, so I am back with my butter, and what you want to do is you want to actually melt your butter so that it's kind of like a creamy consistency. I actually melted my butter a little bit more than I wanted to, but it should still be fine. With the many times that I have made cookies, I found that the consistency of the butter was really important for some reason. I don't know the science, but it is what it is. Now, I realize that you can't really see what I'm doing. Okay. Now I think you should be able to see a little bit more what I'm doing. So here is the dry mixture here. And now what we want to do is beat butter and granulated sugar, brown sugar, and vanilla extract into the large mixer bowl here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put in my butter into this here larger mixing bowl. Ooh, look at all that butter. Butter. That actually might be a pretty good consistency. You want it a little bit more creamy, but it's okay. It's okay. And how much granulated sugar? 3/4 of a cup. Where is that? Okay. So like 1/4 is here. 1/2 is here. So 3/4 is right there. Right? 1/4. 3/4. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I might have put too much. Oh no, that might be good. Nope, a little bit more. 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 Okay, that looks good. So we're gonna go ahead and throw this in there. So that sugar is mixed in there pretty well. Ooh, that's looking good. Ooh, if you guys can see it. Ooh, that's looking creamy. Okay, so we just put the granulated sugar in there. Now the brown sugar. Big mama. Big mama. Okay. How much do we need of this? Packed brown sugar. 3/4 cup also. So what packed means is that you gotta press it down instead of just like leveling it like I've been doing. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Y'all probably already know what that means. I don't know. This isn't me teaching y'all how to bake anything. Let's be clear. So 3/4 cup brown sugar. Toss that in there. Ooh, it's looking good. I'm so excited. Just get high. Let me just get this to a good place first, because I'm kind of a perfectionist like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Vanilla extract. Pretty sure it's just 1 teaspoon. Yep. See, I know some things. Brand new vanilla extract up in here. Up in here. Up in here. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Here. Up in here. Okay, we good, fam, we good. Ooh, kind of dripped a little bit. We good. Ooh, my fingers are gonna smell like vanilla extract. Now I'm going to add in the eggs. Are any of y'all scared of breaking eggs? Because I kind of am low-key, but I've never been terrible at it. Oh, that's good. Yeah. There she is. Watch me jinx myself. Okay, come on. Don't play me. Alright. Alright. Let me wash my hands. So I realized I just made a little bit of an oopsie. I don't know how much this affects the baking, but apparently you're supposed to put it in one at a time. Oops. I mean, it's like they're all going together anyway, right? I guess it's just like there's a certain chemistry to it or something. Oh my gosh. Maybe it's not supposed to look like this, huh? We'll see how they turn out. Disclaimer. I should make a disclaimer song. I'm not teaching you anything. I don't know what would come after that. Okay, so now we're going to gradually beat in this flour mixture into here. So let's put in a couple spoons at a time and then mix it as we go. Look, I do have a mixer, okay? But today I wanted to show my triceps off. Are any of you guys into true crime stuff? I binge watched maybe in a whole day or maybe 2 days Unsolved Mysteries. Is that what it's called? Unsolved Cases, something like that on Netflix. And let me tell you, the case that stood out to me the most was the one that happened in France. This guy, he was like a prominent figure in France. I'm not really sure how that works in France, like the being a nobleman or something. I don't know how that works. He did have a wife, he had some children, and then all of a sudden, you know, person in their neighborhood noticed that there was no activity in their house anymore. And she was like, that's kind of strange because they have a lot of kids. Their shutters are always open. They're always in and out the door. All of them are in school. So where is this family? And so she called the police just to do like a, not really a wellness check, but just to see what's going on in there. And the police went in there a couple times, and each time they concluded that it just looks like this family moved out or something. Like everything was clean. Some stuff was packed away, and the pictures were gone, and so it just looked like the family up and left. But of course everyone still thought that that was kind of strange. And then some of the family friends discovered that they received a letter from the father saying that he was a spy for America. They were on a mission or something. They had to flee and something or other. It was a very strange letter. And so, of course, they didn't really buy it. They told authorities, and so they checked their house again. And I think it was on the 6th time that they checked the house, y'all, they found the graves of the family underneath the house. And guess who was missing? The father. Long story short, they found his car at some motel miles away. And they also saw surveillance footage of him withdrawing money from an ATM that was a couple miles away from the house, and like in between the house and the motel that his car was found. And they also found some evidence that he had inherited a rifle that matched the rifle that had killed his kids and his wife, because they did unfortunately find bullet wounds in the corpses of the family members that were found underneath the house. So all evidence is pretty much leading to this, the father having been the perpetrator, right? And because they found him in surveillance camera footage, they were like, okay, this guy is not really even hiding. He's not being discreet. He's not wearing a hoodie, no nothing. So this might be a classic, you know, he might try to get rid of himself after having gotten rid of his family, right? Because that's usually what happens in these types of cases. So behind the motel in which his car was found was this big foresty type area, very big area with lots of nature. It's not like really a forest, but it's all this land and trees and whatever. And so they thought he was going to take his life there. So they did a big old hunt for him. Didn't find anything. Didn't find him anywhere. So he escaped. So he is still at large to this day. No one knows where he is. People think that he might be in Latin America because his English is pretty good. He doesn't have distinct characteristics to him, so he could blend in anywhere. So that's a big problem. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to add in the chocolate chips. And how many do we need? We need 2 cups of these babies. And I think 1 bag of this does have 2 cups, but let's just make sure. I'm pretty confident in this, so I'm just gonna. So we're just gonna gradually put this in there. This does get kind of, yeah, I think I made this a little first with the butter and then the eggs. Of course, this wasn't gonna work. I also binge watched World's Most Wanted. Probably not the best idea, right? But I did do that. And I'll tell you what, the most unsatisfying thing I have ever watched, and not because of the content. The content was fine, but unsatisfying in the fact that you get to see why these people have gotten away with so much, and the fact that they are still at large. There's just so much corruption and just so much like unfair use of powers, all that kind of stuff. And there was really only one case where the guy was actually caught in the end, and literally just this year, when the crime that he committed happened in like the 80s or 90s. Imagine that. That was kind of not very satisfying because he got to live a whole life. Even though sure he was on the run, he still got to live a full life before he got caught. Because he got caught when he was in his 80s. His 80s! I tell you what, my fingers are starting to hurt for real, for real. I think the chocolate's melting a little bit too. Okay, so as I mix these last bits of chocolate, I will say that one of my supervisors from my previous internship a couple years ago, she actually told me that refrigerating your cookie dough before you bake it is actually really good. She didn't really explain why. So I had been doing that the past couple times that I have baked cookies, but then this time I'm kind of impatient. I kind of want to do it all now. So this is looking pretty good. Still not sure about the consistency thing yet, but we will see once we make that first batch. And you gotta bake these for how long? 9 to 11 minutes. I usually do about 10 and a half, but I have found myself doing a little bit more, like 13-ish, when the dough is like fresh out of the fridge. But now, since it's not cooled, I'll probably be able to get away with about 10-ish, 10 and a half. We'll see. I will hit you guys back up when I bake that first batch. All right, you guys, one burn from the oven later. Ooh, that really doesn't look good, actually. And we have cookies. Woo! So I will say, they're not the prettiest, and I really do think that that has a lot to do with the whole refrigerate the dough prior to baking it thing, but they don't look that bad. And I don't know if the egg thing made a difference. Maybe it did, I don't know, but I've definitely had prettier days. But they might taste fine. So we're gonna go ahead and do a taste test, and we'll see. Tastes fine to me. Alright, so that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time on another baking, cooking video. We'll see where life takes me. Alright? Thank you so much. Have a good day, y'all. Bye.